everybody. It's been a little bit of a minute since you obviously saw all of us on a Friday, because the Premier League games have been played on a Friday, and it's been pretty much most of the big six that, the greedy six, if you want to put it that way now, since the whole drama happened, because obviously you haven't seen us since that. Probably a good thing, because I guess, Shah, I know you probably would have had a lot to say on that whole saga, but probably we'll get into it later on in the show. But hope everybody's well. How are we all, girls? Are you all doing good? Obviously, it's been a couple of weeks since we did a show.
I'm alive. Here.
Oh, okay, that's it right now, yeah? Okay.
No, I mean, I'm good. I'm happy to see you guys. We haven't been here for a minute, so it's nice to see your lovely faces and, talk about things.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to set off with this week, because normally we set off with a bit of a, random topic. What is it this week?
Oh, wow. I mean, where do I start? Let me get my notes up, because I have notes on this stuff that I want to bring up. Do you think I'm playing? Like, I've been waiting. I have so much to discuss. Like, I really do. Like, firstly, like, I don't know if anybody watches this, like the Real Housewives, but they've decided to do this major combination of major Real Housewives from like every show team up for an absolutely all-star Real Housewives show, and I've never been more excited.
That is like me.
Literally, I've never been more excited. There is going to be drama, people getting swilled, bitchiness, and I'm like, I need this.
Which franchise is your favorite then, Charlotte?
Beverly Hills.
Really? I stopped watching them after Vanderpump left, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a little bit boring, but Dorit is Erica Jane. Oh, Erica Jane, man. Oh, the woman is just beautiful. Like, I also quite like Atlanta as well, because they get quite vicious.
I love the Atlanta one.
Oh, Atlanta, literally, they get very feisty. And Dallas, the Dallas ones, they're so bitchy. Like, I've never met like 6 bitchy ladies. Like, they top that. Also, the Kardashians is now finished. We can all celebrate now. No more ugly crying. No more sex. Oh wait, yeah. Here we go. Here's a sex scandal, cheating scandal, more like. Tristan Thomas has cheated on Khloe Kardashian again.
Oh well, what's new? Water's wet.
Just to clarify,
a cheater. It's that simple, isn't it?
Are they even still together?
A leopard's never going to change its spots. Fun fact: if it's done it once and it's done it twice, and it's done it with someone who's your sister's best friend, I would literally be putting like a 10-foot barge pole in between them. I'd be sending them to Australia. I'd send them to another country. I'd be like, no, hon, I'm really sorry. Like.
I thought like Tristan Thompson, I mean, I know he's his own person, his own right, but like they've got a nice life for the Kardashians. Not gonna lie, I might put up with a slight bit of cheating just to have a nice life. But here we are.
Literally.
Kardashians some money, I don't think.
What else have we got? Let me just think. I've got a few weeks worth. Oh yes. Anyone been watching Line of Duty?
Yes.
Always.
Don't spoil it for me, you guys. I'm behind.
Jess is just
No. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not spoiling. No spoilers, Jess. There's no spoilers. I just wanted to discuss how dramatic this season's been. Just mind blown.
The last episode was a little bit boring, but I know that's because it's going to build up to a really big last episode.
Just to clarify, every time I think they can't get any better, boom, my mind is blown.
Last episode was dead, but the rest
it's leading. I mean, you always got to have like that one episode that kind of leads to the big finale. That happens in every series. Like the episode before the finale is so dead, and you're just like, ugh. I mean,
everything. Just tie it all up now. It just needs to move on.
Literally. I need to know answers. I just need some answers, to be honest. Jess, there was no spoilers there. I'm done now.
I just want a reason to call somebody a bent bastard. Like that's what I think of my song. I love it. I'm obsessed, you guys. But I'm only on like season 4 or something.
You'll catch quick, right?
It's quick. Yeah. I was like up late at night watching it. Like, wow, this is amazing.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. I caught up to the current episode in a week. Like in a
Yeah,
genuinely
so
a week. I watched
good.
from series 1 current episode in an absolute week.
Has anyone watched Keeping Faith?
No, I started watching it, but I just didn't get into it.
Just to clarify, it is absolutely incredible. Like, I just want. It's just like an episode came on today, and I was like rewatching it, and I was like, I forgot how good this is, because obviously it's Welsh, so it came out in Wales like last year. So I know what happened. So it come on the TV, and I was like, oh, I forgot how good this was. But I mean, it's a one to watch. The first season's a little bit slow, but it's worth it.
Yeah, well, that'll be my next thing, because obviously, as soon as Line of Duty's finished, I haven't really got anything to watch. RuPaul's Drag Race is all finished now, so
I know, gutters.
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones now that I know that they're coming back.
Oh yeah, House of Dragons.
I forgot everything. I was like, wow.
What do you mean it's coming back?
House of Dragons, there's a spin-off based on the Targaryens. But just to clarify, while you're all rewatching Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin, if you're still watching this, I'm still waiting for the last book of Game of Thrones. If you could just hurry up with that, like that would be great.
We do know how it ends though, because he confirmed that like the ending wasn't too far from the book ending, and that's a bit disappointing.
There's a lot different in the book.
Yeah, but he did like say that the ending wasn't far
I've
off.
never seen any of it or read any of it, so I'm like, fuck.
We need to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, guys, just to let you know, Game of Thrones is. I've never been more excited.
It's still like the best TV show I've ever watched, even though the finale was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I haven't actually watched the finale because I knew how it ended, and I was like, I'm not having that ruin my memory. I'm not watching the finale.
That would be really, really, really bad. Like everyone was kicking off how it ended.
Just to clarify, spoiler alert. Has everyone watched Game of Thrones before I like on this?
No, not
panel?
me, but you never will.
Oh, okay. So you know, okay, that's great. So just to clarify, please tell me I'm not the only one that was very angry in season 8 when Daenerys has done such lovely work and then the expected happens. But I didn't like the way they turned her into the mad, crazy lady.
I was
like
pissed off.
Yeah.
She was my queen. I wanted her to win. Like I wanted to have dragons, to have baby dragons, and it was going to be great. And what the.
She was my Khaleesi. She was everybody. Like we were team Daenerys, we were team Dany, like we were all about this. And then they just destroyed her.
Girl power for what? King Bran? Who wants King Bran? No one wanted King Bran.
Oh yes. No one wanted the three-eyed raven.
Sounds a bit Shrekky going on. That's my input on Game of Thrones. Don't come at me for any Game of Thrones stuff because clearly I'm not the one.
But the House of Dragons is Targaryen based, which I'm very excited about. So we're going to see.
Targaryens are the only thing that really matters. I mean, that's
yeah,
what
literally.
I watch for.
Literally. I'd just like to clarify: if I rewatch a season again, I like fast forward to the Targaryen bits now.
Pretty much. People thought Cersei was the shit, but she wasn't. It was all about Daenerys. Like she was way better.
Cersei was nothing. Like I mean,
she was
like
nothing.
I mean, she wasn't. She had a rubbish death, to be honest.
She did.
I wanted her
for nothing.
I know.
Nothing.
I wanted her head ripped off. I thought she was going to be executed. Her head ripped off by a dragon.
Why?
I thought Head was going to be ripped off by a dragon. I thought she was going to get stabbed. No, just.
Well, this conversation took a turn. I'm not going to lie. So, on that note, yes, we are going to talk football now.
Yes,
like everybody, because I guess if everyone tuned in, they probably thought we were on the wrong channel there. Here we are.
Sorry, guys.
We're going to kick off with a little bit of transfer news. Obviously, everyone's like, talk about football. Yes, we are right now.
Sorry.
Be very happy about it. So, we're going to talk football now. We're going to talk a little bit of transfer news that has obviously been prominent today. We're going to actually talk 2 major transfer stories. So, the first one is obviously about Jules Kounde. He is apparently going to Real Madrid, or Real Madrid are going to put a bid in for him, £52 million, which is crazy. Obviously, this Kounde was Man United's main centre-back target for the summer as well. It's been consistently talked about. I mean, to be honest, Man United have had several centre-back targets for the past couple of months now, but Kounde was a literally the main one, was consistently talked about. He's played a huge role for his side this season. I mean, he's even bagged 4 goals, which, you know, for a centre-back, not too bad. Obviously, AS have come out today and said that Real Madrid are set to make a move. We know that Man United are in the market for a centre-back. They have been for a while. It's probably not what they would like to admit, but, you know, they haven't been amazing in terms of defenders this season. Luke Shaw, however, in terms of, you know, fullbacks, amazing. Luke Shaw's improvement this season has been absolutely insane. Obviously, if Jules Kounde goes to Real Madrid, there's been talk, I know Beth and Shah, you will have heard that there was talk of Varane going to Chelsea, or Chelsea being interested in Varane, because there was a lot of wild comments going around on social media from the likes of Gem and Anita. Gem said that Varane, you know, he's not the one. He's not the guy for Chelsea. There is obviously an option to trigger another year of Thiago Silva's contract. So with that news, I'll come to you first, Jess. Obviously, if this deal goes through for Real Madrid and Kounde, can you see Varane going the other way, or do you think it's just to strengthen, obviously, Real Madrid's back line, basically?
Oh, it's a weird one, because I don't really see Varane at Chelsea. I see if this deal were to happen and Jules Kounde were to end up at Real Madrid, I would think Varane would go to Manchester United. They're the ones who need a right-sided center back, don't they, to play with Maguire. And I think even if it costs them quite a bit of money, it'd be ideal to have somebody, because they're going to try to win the title next season, I would imagine. So getting in an experienced, really good center back in there next to Maguire would be ideal for them. I just don't see it as like a Chelsea thing. I think Chelsea would want something different. I don't know what that different is, but I just can't see it being that easy. I would imagine that Chelsea would want to go for somebody different than that. So it seems more like a Manchester United move, you know, for Varane to go the other direction into Manchester United. But I don't know, you know, the Chelsea girls at the bottom, they would know better than me, you know, but it just doesn't feel like a transfer that would take place for me.
No, I agree. And obviously, especially if, I guess, Man United keep losing out on the main targets, if we're being real. Obviously Sancho was a huge target for has been for probably, you know, the whole season now. And they still haven't managed to get their hands on him. They got Cavani in, which was a surprising transfer to me. And he's made massive difference this season for them. But he is looking likely to probably be going to somewhere like Boca Juniors, obviously post this season. Whether or not that happens, because there has been again talk today of them extending Cavani's contract as well. So, you know, we'll see. So Chelsea girls, Varane, obviously, if this Kounde moves goes through and Varane is available and he is looking to, you know, come to the Premier League in the summer, would you guys be happy with that sign? Shal, would you be happy for Varane? Are you on Gem's page? Like, you know, he's not the one, he's not the target for you guys, or would you be quite happy with that?
You know, I don't actually think he's going to go anywhere. I think it's literally just to strengthen their squads. Unfortunately, the one thing Real Madrid are really, really poor at is keeping their players fit and being able to get them a completely 100% fit before sending them back out again, because they don't have the depth in their second squad. They have to keep, like Eden Hazard. He's probably not only like 95% fit, but he's still playing because they don't have the kind of depth to switch it up or have these backup players that are on the same level. So for me, it would be as to deepen the squad, to make sure you've got that depth, to be able to bring in, to be able to make subs that are on the same level and not have to worry if you get an injury, you don't have a backup player, which right now they have an issue with. Not all the players they substitute like aren't on the levels of the players that are injured. So I think it's a depth thing, to be honest. I think Brian's really talented, but I don't have to agree with Jem. I don't think he's suited for Chelsea. I'm really sorry. I don't. Like, I love him, but I don't think he's on my list right now. I feel like I'm more worried about a striker right now, because all these Chelsea fans are having debates about like which striker we want in when none of them are actually decent. But yeah, I don't think. I think Man, you can have him because I mean you've got Cavani leaving, which is looking like he wants to go closer to home. Which fair play to him, I get that. And then rumours of Paul Pogba wanting to leave, which I mean I don't know if that's just rumours.
Every season,
there's so many rumours. You never know what's true or what not. But I mean, there's only so many times this Paul Pogba rumour can go around before it actually becomes true. In my opinion, I think, I think you're better suited in United because they're going to lose players. Like, we're not losing any players at the end of the season. We're just buying players because our striker's incompetent.
All of them.
You don't think you'll get one in the summer? Anyone major?
I mean, I want Harry Kane, to be honest. I've said this. He is. I know the likelihood isn't possible. Isn't likely. But if you look at the player and look at our team, he's better suited for our team. He's already adapted to the Premier League. He's banging in goals. We just need him to bang in. We need someone that's going to bang in goals. We don't need someone that's all tactically inept and all that. I don't want that. Just want someone that gets balls in the back of the net. And Harry Kane, for me, is better suited for that. But, you know, for me, Harry Kane has to leave Spurs at the end of the season if he wants to actually have a career. And I know people are going to be like, he does have a career. But when you look back at his career, all you're going to see is golden boots. Let's be realistic. Like, there's nothing... There's a cabinet with cobwebs, like... And if you open it, like, you're going to turn London into the Sahara. There's that much dust. Like, I ain't playing with this. I think you actually kind of have to... He has to leave if he wants to actually have a career that's worth what more. So, I mean, Chelsea can offer him... I'm not being horrible here and big-headed, but Chelsea can offer him a trophy next season, or 2 or 3. I believe that next season, if we have the right players, CDM and a striker, I think problems will slowly get sorted out. And I personally think we're going to be in competition for the Premier League next season. If we can get those problems sorted.
Yeah, I'm not saying you won't, because I think out of most of the clubs in the Premier League, in terms of you guys and probably Man City, are the ones who are going to probably look, spend the money, because we've seen Liverpool in the past haven't spent hugely. Yes, they've bought like specific players for a lot of money, but they haven't spent in terms of depth wise to win the league. Like post obviously them winning the league, Chelsea, Man City, both in contention in the market for strikers this summer. Obviously with Aguero leaving Man City, they don't really have an out and out striker right now. So I mean, it could be a case of you and Man City fighting out for Kane. We just don't know. Again,
I think Man City can have Haaland. They can take him. Haaland's probably suited for their better style of play. I don't actually want... I mean, I say I don't want... when as a football fan, you want a player because they're very talented. Yeah. But if I have to take a step back and look at what's best for my team, his style isn't right for my team. And we're also going to have the same situation that we've had with Havertz, that we've had with Werner, that we've had like with Pulisic, like that we've had with Ziyech, where these players come to this
German league, yeah.
Exactly, and they're going to struggle to adapt. I don't need that. I need a player that can get balls in the back of their net. And as far as I'm concerned, we're probably going to be able to offer more money. And to be honest, like I'm sorry, but I believe Daniel Levy and Enoch are still paying the Jose Mourinho's bill of like some kind of millions, like 40 million or something. So, I mean, if you want to earn money, we will absolutely take Harry Kane. We will take him off you. We will treat him well. We will give him trophies. We will give him trophies in his first season, something you're not capable of. But I think Harry Kane needs to come to Chelsea. And you know what? Like everyone's like, oh, it's unlikely, but I have a gut feeling. You know when you have this just gut feeling, and I'm ready for Harry Kane to be announced. I really am.
I wouldn't be mad at
I literally.
It is. I feel like it's going to be you guys and Man City, as I've said. I know, obviously, Joe. Thank you for the super chat. By the way, I'm not keeping it on the screen because it's covering Charles' head, that's why. But thank you for the super chat. And
someone just said Fabrizio Romano confirmed Bruno Fernandes is leaving.
What? Just
that's a troll
in the comments.
No, I think they're just trying to wind us up. Like,
I was about to get really excited then.
Southampton is beating Leicester, even though they're a man down. So that's real. That's actually happening right now.
Amazing.
I know. Go them. Thank you
went
for
down early, didn't they? So they're not losing 9-0. That's good.
Cold,
I mean, I think Kane is actually down for 150 mil. But I don't know if you know our owner, Roman Abramovich, who spent 2 billion on a piece of artwork, which is basically paper and paint, and he spent 2 billion on that. So if you think 150 millions, I'm pretty sure Harry Kane's a bargain. Like 150 million for an absolute world-class player to 2 billion for a piece of paper and paint. I think we're getting an actual bargain.
Slightly ruining strikers, not gonna lie. Let's go in time.
Yeah.
You know, Werner, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be better off going for someone understated around like the 30 million mark that no one sees coming. Then they might actually perform. Whereas when we spend money on people.
Abraham at home, Beth. Is Tammy Abraham at home?
Yeah, I love Tammy.
Whoa, Bambi on ice. Nah, Bambi on ice is done. I'll see you in Brighton when we face Brighton, because he's going to Brighton next season.
Aston Villa being interested in Tammy Abraham. I feel like he is the Aston Villa striker because they like, you know.
He's sort of like the mid to lower table team in the Premier League sort of striker.
He's basically he's not a top six. He's not a top six player. He's like bottom of the table, maybe championship kind of player.
I saw a stat the other day I think it was on Twitter, where it was like every club he's been at, like for the past 5 years, he's been their top like that season. And in fact, is he not your guys' top scorer?
Yeah, he's still our top scorer this season.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know what? People keep telling me this. People keep telling me actually he's not. He's nearly not. I think is it Pulisic just has to get like a couple more goals and he's on target, so that's great. I'd rather have Pulisic and Abraham.
If Jorginho gets one more goal, he'll be our lead scorer. But at the moment,
result, come on, Jorginho. But I think for me, like Abraham, just nah. I can't deal with Abraham. You know, like he stresses me. Like, look at him. He got an opportunity to turn up because Tuchel blatantly hasn't played him for a reason, and he's turned up and actually. He missed an open goal. It was just as bad as Werner's. Like genuinely, I'm not taking away anything. But you know, I just Abraham's done for now. He really is. Like I'm over it. I don't think he can't be a good player, but I just don't think he's at the level of Chelsea.
So I just said, why does Charlotte hate Pulisic so much?
Just to clarify, I just celebrated him becoming our top goal scorer, which I want him to do, and I'm still getting hate. Like, dude, I cannot win. I feel like I'm just going to go back to being nasty to Pulisic. Everyone expects it from me. Like,
got an agenda about Pulisic.
I don't anymore. It was just his injuries. I feel like his injury agenda is quite acceptable.
Yeah, and it's not like it's not going to happen again, is it? Everyone can get excited. Exactly. He's a great player. He's amazing. He's our best player when he's fit. But in another week or so, he's going to be injured again. And then what's like? You just have to weigh it up. Is it worth it?
That's the thing. I think there's a player at every team that's like hospital case. Like Naby Keita at Liverpool's always injured as well. Fred and Bailly at Man United. Pulisic's just yours. And weirdly, Harry Kane's Spurs. But we'll move on from that. And we're going to go to the next bit of transfer news. Obviously, the comment that I've just pulled up, that Coutinho to Everton is a done deal. Am I back? You all froze for a minute. Was it me?
I think so, yeah.
Mine was fine.
Mine was fine.
Oh, everyone was just freezing on my phone, so I was like, maybe it's me, maybe no one can even hear what I'm chatting away at. But anyways, we're back to it. Coutinho to Everton is apparently a done deal. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. This has just suddenly reared its head today. Obviously, a little bit of South American flair in the Everton squad right now with James Rodriguez. Coutinho to Everton would be a sick transfer for them, in my opinion, I think. Obviously, his loan to Bayern last year was really successful in terms of for him. I mean, he scored against his old club in the quarterfinals of the Champions League in that nice 8-2 Barca Bayern game.
That was a great game.
Forgot. Did he score 2 goals in that game? Possibly, I don't know, but yeah. Someone's in here who said it's a done deal. Doubt it. I don't think it is a done deal at this time. I think it's just interest. But I don't think it's a fall from grace. I don't see why. Everton are doing pretty okay in the league compared to probably what everybody thought they were going to. I love Don Carlo. Absolutely love Don Carlo. So what do you
Don
guys
Carlo
think?
with
Do
his
you
Bob
think-
roll.
I read that it seems a bit. How often do players switch between Everton and Liverpool? Like, I know he's gone somewhere else and then come back, but that's not something that happens that often. So I feel like I'm a bit skeptical on that one, because that would cause a lot of hate with that fan base as well, and they are like the loudest Liverpool fans when they're upset.
That's true. I think I have an issue with Everton. Not like right now, but I feel like they got rid of Keane, Moise Keane, and it broke my heart. Like, they lost a player that was so talented, and they just didn't treat him very well, and that upset me because I could see the potential. I think everybody could see the potential when he was playing, and he got mugged off, absolutely mugged off in Everton. He got absolutely mugged off. So
my StreamYard was moving absolutely wild there. Yous were all freezing and I was talking. I couldn't it was like robotic. So sorry about that. I am back. Hopefully it sorts itself out now. But go on, Shah, what were you saying?
I was just saying about how, like, they mugged Moise Keane off, who went to PSG, when they treated him so badly. So I have issues with Everton on that treatment. But I mean, I don't think Coutinho going to Everton is probably the best solution, to be honest. Liverpool fans in Everton, obviously it's like the Merseyside derby. I don't think it's gonna end too well if he does. I think unfortunately, if fans are back next season, which it looks like that, I think the amount of booing, the amount of like slagging off that he's gonna get chance, like is it worth it?
I wonder if anyone, obviously in the comments, can let us know like how many players there has been, I guess, recent history who've done both Everton and Liverpool. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I really can't off the top of my head right now. So I know obviously like rival clubs, obviously like Sterling's done Liverpool and Man City, and there's like players like that. But at this current time, I cannot think off the top of my head of someone Everton Liverpool in recent history. So yeah, I think that will be a weird. Not, it wouldn't be necessarily weird in terms of him going Everton. I just think the link with Liverpool, obviously, there's a lot of Liverpool fans who still love Coutinho, and actually will probably still have him back at the club. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't think players really, unless they grew up in that city, really care about that kind of stuff. I don't think it's about, can I get out of Barcelona because I'm not playing? Are they going to offer me the wages that I want? And I'm sure that from what I'm gathering from what Everton's trying to do is they want to cut corners. They want to bring in experienced players, because Ancelotti is not going to go for like a youth project or anything like that. He's too experienced for that. So he's going to want players that he can rely on, players that can just kind of fit in and do what they need to do. And Jaime is very good, but he can't play a full Premier League season. We've seen that. He needs assistance. He needs help. Whether or not they need him, they need another creative player, but they need more than that. They need help in the midfield as well. Decore and Alon are good, but whenever they put Davies or even Andre Gomez in there, they drop off. and I think they need help defensively. So I'm sure they'll go in and buy more players, but this seems like we're trying to kind of cut the line a little bit, make sure we get big name players, and that's also going to build their brand a little bit as well. So I can see that. I feel like Everton might have felt a little bit slighted not being invited to the ESL. I think I felt that. I felt that. I was like, okay, well, they probably feel a little bit slighted, but Everton also love an old Barcelona player. Andre Gomez used to play for Barcelona as well as Digne, so I think there's a connection there. I don't think it's like a bad choice for Coutinho. He needs to get out of Barcelona. Whether or not this is going to shoot them into the top 4, which I think is their real target, I don't think so. But it's a step if they want to cut corners and just try to get into maybe the top 6 if other people flip, But I'm not too surprised about this, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, James Rodriguez has had an influence on the team this year, which was another, like, as you say, cut corner signing. I guess they just expected, James Rodriguez has established himself as a relatively, top player, probably arguably world class I don't think currently at this level he is world class, but at some point in his career that he was. So yeah, I think in that terms it is very similar in that respect. Whether or not we'll see it, whether or not Coutinho has any form of loyalty, I don't know. Someone did say in the chat that loyalty doesn't exist currently in football, which I tend to agree with. As we all saw with the likes of the ESL, it is just a business model now, and it's just very, profit orientated, and that's all it is. It's about money now. So if it does go, I wouldn't be surprised. But it is what it is. We will see. Okay, so now we've got transfer rumors out of the way. Actually, I wanted to touch on just one more now. I've got you two here, Beth and Charles. There's been talk today that Rudiger is, looking for a new contract at Chelsea. That even could possibly sign a new one. Would that be good? I guess he's had an influence on you guys this season. Obviously, you've got the most clean sheets in the league right now, especially under Tuchel. I think your defense is probably one of the best in the league right now, in terms of form. Would that be something that you would look for? Or again, are we looking at, we just spoke about Varane, we just spoke about Silva possibly extending his contract. Would Rudiger for you, Beth, be someone or, a deal that you would be looking to pass through maybe?
Based on how he's performing now and the fact that I think we're most likely to give Tuchel a contract extension at the end of the season. Yeah. I think he's only got a year left. I think they're going to extend it, and I think that'll be a good decision. If they carry on playing well, then I think he absolutely does. He deserves a contract extension. He's been phenomenal since he's had to come into the team, which is a shock because we pretty much had thought he'd be leaving this summer or last summer. But with that being said, I don't think Tuchel's going to carry on with the 3 at the back thing next season. Okay. And yeah, I don't know if it's the best option for that, but I think he's got a lot of confidence. Tuchel has a lot of confidence in him. He's genuinely been one of our best players over the last few months. So yeah, I think he should.
Yeah,
he's experienced too.
In a lot of the Champions League games as well, Rudiger's been a standout for me. I think, especially in both athletic times.
He was my man of the match against Real Madrid, Rudiger. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think he's been really good. So that for me, I mean, I'm obviously not a Chelsea fan, as Jess said earlier. You guys know better than we do in terms of transfers and stuff. But for me, I don't think that would be. If you aren't looking to strengthen hugely, if Silva doesn't extend his contract, trigger the extra year, that is possibly going to be a case. I don't think Rudiger having a contract extension would be the worst decision in the world, especially the way that he is right now, especially the way that the player that he's
don't see it as a priority where we need to strengthen like the centre backs, because I think we'd be more looking at cover for right and left back if we go back to a back 4, because Reece James and Chilwell are great, but their backup options aren't great.
Yeah.
More like a central midfielder and definitely a striker, 300% a striker. That's more of our priorities, I think. So having Rudiger and him being good, just extending his contract, it just makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
I kind of have to disagree with Beth, to be honest. I'm sorry, Beth. I agree with you, we need a CDM. I agree with you, we need a striker. But I have a problem with Christensen. Now, Christensen for me has been great. But my problem is if we're going to go back to a back 4, Christensen can't play in a back 4. I don't want I don't want him anywhere near my back four. I want him send him to Alaska, send him to the Antarctic, or what's the other one? The Arctic and the Antarctic. There we go. Send him to them. I don't care where he goes. But let me tell you, I don't want him anywhere near my back four. No, I think we do. We need a CDM. I think that's probably one of our main. We need someone who's going to be able to, or who's on Kante's level. Not like performance-wise, but on the level of performance, because I don't want anyone similar to Kante, but I need someone who can perform with him as well. And, bring up Jorginho and bring up Kovacic as well, which is what I want. I think we really need that. But Christensen obviously is a big question mark and a big red X over his head if he comes to play into a back four, because he doesn't make the team for me. If we're playing a back three, put him in the team every day. But back four, he can't play in a back four. He can't even play in a back two, let alone a back four. So apparently back three. I don't get it though. I thought a back four would be easier for him because there's more people to help him. Apparently, it's not how it works. Apparently,
he plays more in the middle though when he plays in the back. Yeah, so he's got more protection than everyone else.
Exactly. But I think back four is a bit of a worry for him. So I think we need to maybe focus on getting someone who's to back up. I mean, we could sell Alonso and Emerson. I'm game for that. Happy to sell them. Not even an issue. I'm not even thinking twice.
Lampard, you were like, let's just get rid of 10 players.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like that anymore. I've changed, guys. I have changed.
If we draw to Fulham or something, there'll be a new list.
I don't have that many. I think Alonso and Emerson, they're not really doing much for us. I think that's a fair point to sell, get some money for them. I'm still ready to get rid of Jorginho, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. And get rid of Abraham. And Kepa. Let us get rid of. Dear Jesus, I pray that you let us give us just 30 million, because that will be a bargain for Kepa. We will have got some money for Kepa. I need something, but Kepa needs to go. Abraham needs to be sold on to maybe Aston Villa or Brighton. Jorginho, bye.
Just simply bye.
Yeah. And I think maybe get some backup for Christensen.
Yeah, because obviously Declan Rice is being spoke about a lot in terms of Chelsea. So
no, thank you. Like I keep telling people, I would rather have £60 million worth of McDonald's chicken nuggets than I would Declan Rice.
You're so damn Charles. I love it. I absolutely love it. Obviously, just quickly, just in terms of transfers before we get into the week's action. I know probably Jess is let's just not talk about yesterday, but we kind of have to touch on it a little bit.
Yes, please. Sorry, Jess. Sorry, Jess.
Yeah, we love you, Jess, but it's so funny.
I'm going to address his comments since we're obviously talking about signings and stuff. What signings do Arsenal need to make in the summer, irrespective of the manager? Obviously, Jess, I'm going to hand this one over to you, of course. What would you like to see happen in the summer in terms of your guys' business?
Have you got a list?
I mean, for me, a lot of players need to go, but everybody's going to be trying to sell their players because they weren't able to sell last summer. So the idea that we're going to be able to get rid of 8 players is so unrealistic. I'd be surprised if we were able to get rid of 2 or 3 permanently. So for me, I think we obviously need a central midfielder that can play next to Thomas Partey. I honestly think it was really obvious seeing Ceballos really struggle yesterday that there needs to be something else there, and it can't be Granit Xhaka either. He's played okay, but it can't be Granit Xhaka or Ceballos or El Neni. Thomas deserves better than that. I think he was horrible yesterday, but a lot of that has to do with the company that's around you. So we need a central midfielder. We need to figure out what we're doing with the creative midfielder situation. If I was Odegaard, I would run for the hills. I don't think that that's a viable option at this point, because if I'm him and I'm a young up-and-coming creative midfielder, that's going to cost probably 50 million. I mean, he's not coming to Arsenal. He's going to pack his shit and go, Yeah. So I imagine he would be gone. So we need a creative midfielder. We need a right back. I think it's obvious that Bellerin's not going to be at the club, and Callum Chambers is not the answer.
That's been spoke about a lot as well. Him obviously leaving as well, hasn't it? So
And right-sided center back. If it was me, I would just bring Saliba back and just cut the crap. He's playing really well at Nice. He's the right physical profile. We're in Project Youth. That's all we have is good young players. So what's just bringing another one? Bringing David Luiz has been okay, but has it really served us? Not really. So and we're stuck with Holding because of the homegrown quota. You need to have a certain amount of homegrown players, and you can't get rid of Holding. So I would say if it's not Saliba, then you need to bring somebody in. But yeah, those are the positions that we need to improve. I don't know who those players are. It depends on what kind of funds we have. And I would hope that we would kind of go away from the big signings, the ones that are going to cost us millions of, 70 million, 60 million, whatever. Go for good, solid players that are 25 million or so, younger players, and just grow and build from the ground up, because we are in like a serious project right now. We have to tear it down and start over again.
Yeah, 100%. And you've been totally, realistic in terms of Arsenal having to rebuild their squad, basically the club in general. This is a rebuilding season for you guys. Obviously, semi-finals of the Europa in a rebuilding season isn't really anything to be sniffed at. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, Europa, but you're still in contention for it. And in this current season where you have said it is a rebuilding season and there is a lot of work to be done at the club, I don't think it's too bad. But obviously, as we're talking about Europa, well, not Europa, but European legs, we'll start off with Champions League, because obviously I thought it was two really, really good Champions League games. Actually, and to be fair, it was two really good Europa League games. If you're a neutral, obviously not for Arsenal fans, it probably wasn't an ideal situation. Man United fans are probably laughing. But obviously, we're going to kick off the Champions League. We'll start with Chelsea and Real Madrid, since that was the first one. 1-1.
Look at Charlotte's face.
That's like, yes, let's please talk about it. Obviously, 1-1. I expected... I thought you were going to win it, really, until obviously Benzema with his little moment of brilliance, which we're so used to seeing from him. I think it's just in terms of Benzema, I just think it's sad that he's kind of been in people's shadow a lot. Obviously, for the last couple of years, maybe he hasn't, but especially when Ronaldo was at the club, he was kind of, he was just under Ronaldo's shadow.
He's the fourth highest Champions League goal scorer ever, all time, with 71 goals in the Champions League. Like, don't be underestimating that. Like, but you know what? My team didn't underestimate him. My team underestimated him. Oh, when he was getting his goal, what were we doing? Missing 3 headers, and Thiago Silva was just watching like he was at a cinema drive-through. Like, can someone, why is Mason Mount marking one of the best the best player in their team right now? Why is Mason Mount marking? Where's my defenders not marking their player? That's the only thing I can say that's bad, apart from Werner's absolutely diabolical miss. But I expected that. I really do. I expect this now. I don't even... I'm like, Werner has a shot on target. Yeah, it's probably not going to go in. I'm probably going to need some kind of therapy because it's not going to go in. This dude should win awards for the best missed goals, in the front of, the best open goal missed shots. He would win every award.
I've seen someone's make a Twitter account with open goals and Werner in front of them. It's called did Werner miss that shot? And every time I just post a picture and go, yeah.
Literally, it is. It's so bad now. I don't even get annoyed anymore. I'm over it. I'm ready for next season, and I'm hoping that he can turn up, because right now that was not a good performance from him. Actually, I don't even want him starting in the next game, but I want Havertz starting. It's the only game that we've actually got over 2 goals is when Havertz, Mount, and Pulisic are our starting 3. So let's start them as our starting 3 in the next game and see what happens. We've got 5 substitutions. What more can we want? The Benzema goal was just poor defence. We messed up. We have to own that. We have to learn from our mistakes and not do the same mistakes again, because realistically they wouldn't have had a goal unless we messed up, and we messed up. We weren't defending. We didn't win any headers. We messed up. But Pulisic's goal, man. Can we just talk about Pulisic? So Pulisic, he comes running down that pitch. He's like grease lightning. He's like boom, 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 boom. And he's like, let me just go round this snake on the floor. I'm talking about Courtois, obviously. That little snake on the floor. And like, he just goes boom. And do you know what annoys me? Like, Benzema's goal was so good, like incredible, but Pulisic's goal was so good as well. It just got forgotten about because Benzema's goal was so good that they kind of forgot about Pulisic's. But for me, Pulisic's goal was so good. I absolutely loved it. And you know, I think I have a problem with that. I was watching the game, like I rewatched. I was rewatching the game, and I looked at it and I realized that Pulisic wasn't passing to Werner. He was looking that Werner was free and he wasn't passing. When players stop passing to someone who's in a striker position, you realize you've messed up. You realize this player should not be in this team right now. Like, get a goal.
I've just got to do this myself.
Yeah, literally. He gets, like, Werner gets a goal against West Ham and you think, right, confidence is about to come back. Next game, he's dead. He's missing in action. He's missing them goals again. And you're like, what's the point in getting a goal if it's not going to boost your confidence? Like, if it's not going to do anything, what is the actual point? It's not me being horrible, but like, I don't really know what to do. But I know that if Pulisic and Mount aren't passing to Werner, that's a problem for me. That's red flags because I'm like
already not
scoring.
Like that's a huge
exactly. He's already not scoring, and now your key players, aren't passing to him. That for me be's like, if I was Tuchel, I'd be like, red flags, Werner, you are benched for the rest of the season. See you next season. And I'm not saying Werner can't be good. He shows great creativity when it comes to assisting and being able to get the ball in the box and his pace and his passing. But when you get to a point of like the goal, getting the ball in the back of the net, he just can't. So I don't think he should be being played in a striker position because he's not a striker and he's not working.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously you've kind of touched on it a little bit, but my next question would be, what do you guys need to do to make sure that you obviously progress through the next leg? Because obviously, is it this week coming, the next leg? Yeah, it is, isn't it? About the 5th.
Yeah.
Obviously, in terms of, Charlotte's touched on it a little bit, Beth. You know, you need to drop Werner. Havertz needs to be playing. What else? Is there anything else other than that you need to be doing to make sure you progress through to, you know, after the second leg? Is there anything else that you need to be changing? Is there any players that need dropping? Like, what do you think in terms of that?
I think we played really well. Our only problem is that we don't finish our chances. I'd probably equally be as happy if he just started the same team again. Only thing is, I do agree with Charlotte, and I think that it's just a bit too much pressure for Werner at this time as well to play in that semi-final now, especially after that miss. The fans are all really riled up about it. Like, even I'm really annoyed about that miss. Like, you can't miss that in the semi-final of the Champions League. Like, it's just so annoying. But I think you need to play like Giroud or play Havertz, just have someone that's cool-headed, because Havertz, like, he's really young, he's not experienced, but he's got this mentality, like he just doesn't look phased, which can also be a bad thing, but not important right now. As long as we have like Pulisic who can create, or like maybe Ziyech was really good when he came on against Real Madrid. We just need to finish the chances that we make. We're going to be absolutely fine. They had like 2 shots that whole game. They were both Benzema. As long as we can actually mark him properly and like nullify that threat, we should be fine to get through. But saying that, they are going to probably come in a little bit more aggressive. But I think that we have shown in the last game that we have what it takes to win the game if we want to.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so predictions. Girls, what are your predictions for the next?
2-1
to Chelsea. 1-0.
I'm gonna say 2-1 because I think Real Madrid will get a goal, but I think we'll get 2. So you know,
yeah,
because Ramos is back as well.
As a neutral, what are your predictions, Jess?
think it's going to be 0-0.
You're on mute.
Am I still?
No, I can hear her. She said 0-0.
Oh,
No, I can hear.
sorry,
I was
it's
probably just quiet.
my phone doing something again. You was just saying I heard it like 3 minutes later. Okay, you think it's going to be 0-0?
But I think,
So
I mean, yeah, but doesn't that mean Chelsea goes through because they got the away goal? Yeah. So I think you guys will go through. I don't think anybody's going to score. I think Chelsea's going to shut up shop. I don't think you guys are going to like sit back in your box, but Real Madrid didn't look. You guys will be aware of Benzema this time, so I don't really see anything else happening. But you guys
got to be.
We should have been aware
score a
of
lot
the
of goals
first
either.
time, to be fair, but you know what?
Yeah, but we've
I was
also got
happy.
Ramos back as well. So we've got Benzema and Ramos that we need to kind of keep in check because Ramos is back for the second leg. Don't underestimate him. I will not be underestimating Ramos. Let me tell you, Tuchel, don't underestimate Ramos. I mean, we opened them up last time. I know it's different. You've got Ramos, but Eden Hazard turned up and wasn't even noticeable. What I want is for Eden Hazard to start the game. 5 minutes into the game, he limps off after keeping up pace,
But okay.
and just limping off. I'd rather that than him get injured on our pitch. To be honest, I'd rather him just like pretend he's got an injury and limp off than actually get really injured and be out for the rest of the season. Because I think it is, if Eden Hazard gets another injury, he's out for good. Like, that career done.
Yeah, well, they said if he needed surgery, then he probably wouldn't play football again. So
exactly. So this is why I don't really
actually upsets me so deeply. I'm like,
This
we have
is-
such
this
a
is why I
connection as
just
Chelsea
wanted-
fans to Eden Hazard that is like the most upsetting thing that could happen.
I know. This is why I don't want him to be like. This is why I wanted to pretend to have an injury and limp off. Because I don't want to be responsible. I don't like. For me, Eden Hazard, like he's got
At least
such
there's
a
no
part
fans in the
his-
stands.
Do you know what it is? Like, it
If there's
sucks
fans in the
that we
stands and
finally
he got
to, like,
injured,
yeah. It sucks that we got to play him and like the fans weren't there to like cheer him on and like boo Courtois in the meantime. But that is so upsetting to me that they got this reunion and all we could do is just watch on the TV. Like,
I would have loved to boo Courtois.
it's going to be like, no, we don't like him anymore.
I wanted to cheer Eden Hazard and boo Courtois. Like, that is all I wanted to do. I just wanted to boo Courtois. He's a snake, like.
did he do something when he left? Like, didn't he just go? He wanted to do something
it
else?
was really snaky about his transfer. He like forced his way out, basically.
Yeah, there was no honesty.
You on the sideline, I would have liked to have seen that. You just like.
I just like to clarify. I would just be like, snake, 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 snake. I'd be like, yeah, you little snake. Yeah, don't miss that goal, snake.
Someone's in the comments with it as well, snakes. There you go.
Yeah, see? Yeah, all these people know what I'm talking about. Snaky McSnake.
Well, weirder things have happened. Maybe Hazard might be the one to send Real Madrid through. You never know, but
don't know.
That would make me cry. I'm not sure how I could process that.
I wouldn't been able to.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but I think we can win the game. If we really want to win the game, we can win that game. Yeah. We've shown we can win that game.
Yeah.
So too. Obviously, we'll just touch quickly on the next Champions League game, which is obviously PSG v City. I have never in my life seen a team crumble the way PSG did in that second half. Genuinely, I was like, what is actually going on? It was just crazy. I thought Mbappe had a pretty quiet game. First half, Neymar and Di Maria, brilliant, phenomenal. Some of the honestly great performance for them. What happened in the second half was absolutely wild. I don't know whether it was a case of PSG coming out and not really having a fulfilled plan as to what was going on, whether they didn't know how City were going to react in the second half. I really don't know, but I honestly thought City in the second half were brilliant. Really, really, really good. If they kind of keep that balance coming into the second leg, I feel like City could probably go through. It might be an all-English final.
Nope.
No. I mean, PSG sat back too early. I think that was their big issue, is that they started to bunker in a little bit too much. And what happens is Man City is really good once you give them the ball. They get you chasing. They start to put pressure on you. And that's really what happened. I would say as I think Man City played okay. I thought they played good, but they weren't brilliant. You know, if you really, those were two pretty suspect, you know, free kicks that went
kind
in.
of goals. They were lucky goals.
Yeah, they were more lucky-ish than anything, and I think that took PSG by surprise. And you know, it wasn't so much that Man City was playing well; it was just the game plan wasn't right. And I think Poch played into Pep's hands with that. They needed to put more pressure on them and keep them having to defend, and they stopped. You know, so I think they set themselves up for that. I wouldn't say that Man City was brilliant. They weren't. They got 2 lucky goals, but now they have the advantage, and I think they're in PSG's head. PSG tends to bottle as well. So let's not act like they're so mentally sound. They're not. But I think Man City might have this one because I think they have the mental edge now. And sometimes that's more important than anything. It's just the way that they crumbled. I don't know if they're coming back from that, you know?
Yeah, it was just, it was so scary to me. Especially as you say, like PSG aren't mentally sound. Like obviously the league is probably on their mind this year as well. I know they're probably more focused on Champions League, which is what everybody's kind of assumptions were that Champions League was their thoughts this year, but the league is going to be on their mind. Obviously, Lille are, you know, first at the moment. But again, Man City are another team. Pep tends to overthink stuff a lot in the big games, which he has done in the past. He's overthought a lot of his, you know, tactics and the way he plays games in the Champions League, especially in the past, which is why the pressure is tend to get to him, and he has never progressed, obviously, to win the Champions League. But maybe this year is different. We don't know. Obviously, Beth, sorry, what were you going to say there?
I was going to say, obviously, it was a great game for neutral to watch that game, but PSG's been very leaky in defence. So I really, now that Man City have that upper hand, and the game's going to be at home, isn't it, for them? Yeah. So it's 2 away goals they got, wasn't it? Yeah. I really think they'd have to do something spectacular to really mess that one up, I think. Because for the last few rounds in the Champions League, PSG have been leaking goals left, right and centre. They've been scoring goals. Yeah, that's amazing. But they're not solid. And so Man City can do it. They can.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as well, you know, I think everyone probably thought it was going to be a PSG over Real Madrid final, but now we're seeing the complete
it's going to be a PSG Chelsea final.
Everyone thought it'd be Barcelona versus Real Madrid final, and then it was Chelsea versus Bayern Munich.
It's going to be Chelsea versus PSG. I'll give you that now. Let me tell you, we are going to have a Neymar carrying session next week, when Neymar's going to carry the squad to victory. I see that happening. You know, I don't. You know. I think the problem is that Man City have a few questions to answer. Firstly, do you play KDB? Because him and Cancelo are both, if they get a yellow card, they both don't make the final. Now, are they willing to risk that? Because you want to put KDB not playing in a final against, so you want to have Zinchenko instead? I mean, there's different levels to their players. I'm not saying Zinchenko's bad, but their levels.
There's going to be some tactics going to have to be involved. Some thoughts.
I don't know if Pep's going to overthink this, which I'm praying he does, because let me tell you, I've already beaten Man City in the FA Cup. We've kicked them right out the FA Cup. Why do I need to beat them again? No, I want it to be a Poch Tuchel final, because Tuchel needs to avenge Poch. Like, Poch has done some now. Poch came in 3 days later. He'd been the job 3 days and he wins two.
Claiming he won a trophy.
Claiming he won a trophy, and it's Tuchel. Tuchel did 99.9999999. I'm putting a recurring dot because you know that's a 9 recurring. Like, dude, he did all the work, and Poch is like, I've got a trophy. No, hon. You can thank Tuchel for that. So let me tell you, I've said this for a long time now. Beth knows this, that I see it a Poch Tuchel final, and I believe in what I say. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But right now, I see it in the stars that it's meant to be, that it's Poch and Tuchel. And also, I really want to see Pep not win the Champions League again. It'd be beautiful to watch. You know.
I'm just like, all right, you can go and win it if you want.
Yeah. I know that Chelsea are gonna be in the final. I can't. Do you know what? It's our game to lose. If we turn up like we did last week, it's our game to lose. So I see Chelsea in the final. I want. I mean, I can see Man City doing it, but I feel I have a gut feeling. My gut feeling was usually right, so I'm gonna say PSG. I mean, it don't take it. It literally is. I think whoever gets the first goal is going to be going through to the final. That's how I've said it. Whoever gets the first goal in the PSG game is going to be going through to the final. Because I think if PSG get the first goal, it's incentive for them. But if Man City get the first goal, it's a bit like a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
And you know, Man City have been. Oh, sorry. Man City have been a bit shaky recently as well, haven't they? They haven't been themselves. They have won some of their games most recently, but they haven't been playing to the standard that they were playing at. So, you know, it could happen, but I don't know. It is theirs to lose again as well. Like it is ours to lose.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, again, it's going to be another 2 great games for neutrals. Okay, Jess, I know we have actually held off on this for a while, but we're going to touch on the Europa League games. Obviously, you know, Man United, Roma, self-explanatory. To be honest, I honestly thought that was Roma's tie when they obviously scored. I was like, okay, it's pretty much done. And then it was Man United's game all over. They probably quite clearly are now in the final. As we're on the subject of all English finals, obviously, you know, you guys are in the semis right now. 2-1 against Villarreal and your old, lovely, good evening manager.
Legends. What a legend.
Where can I start? Okay. I'm going to say what went wrong. Obviously, I know everyone's going to say, you know, we had 10 men, but I think before that, it had already... It was declining.
No. It goes beyond Ceballos. If you want to start with what went wrong, you can start with the fact
I'm not talking about the red card of Ceballos. I'm talking about his absolute clown of a performance.
Okay, so let me go into it because it's my team and I just need to get this out.
No, please do.
The beginning really, I was trying to figure out where the goals would come from because we didn't have a single goal scorer out there. When you decide to play Granit Xhaka and Callum Chambers as your fullbacks, you know you're not going to be able to create overloads. They're not going to go forward. You have Thomas Partey and Ceballos that neither of them carry a goal threat. So you're asking Nicolas Pepe, Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Odegaard to score goals, and none of them are all-and-out goal scorers. There's not a single striker out there, and you did everything in your power not to play Gabriel Martinelli. You can tell me all you want to tell me about he's young and all this kind of stuff, but you need a striker. You can even see that Man City, a team that's light years ahead of us, struggled without a true 9 against PSG. So why would you turn around and do that same thing against Villarreal when we're nowhere near the same type of team? You have to be a certain type of team to play with a false 9, and we are not it. Aubameyang comes and obviously Arteta says that he wasn't fit enough or something like that. Then why do you drag him all the way to Spain? That doesn't make sense to me. You know, you could have played Aubameyang, you could have played Martinelli, you chose not to. And I thought you were going to play Nicolas Pepe through the middle because he's actually played false 9 as, you know, at Lille.
Yeah.
You play Emile Smith-Rowe there, a 19-year-old. Like, what's happening? You know, so it started off with the tactics were bad, and then the mentality of the team is on the floor. That's my biggest problem with this team is that you get lucky breaks when you play hard. When you actually try, things happen for you. You know, when we actually started to try, we got a penalty, but it's too late. You know, it's too late for that. And for everybody who thinks that Emery pulled off some masterclass, he didn't, because he kept us in the tie by doing Emery things, which is basically take your striker off, put on another defensive center midfielder, and we got a penalty that kept us in the game. We shouldn't be in this tie, but we are. And I have probably no confidence that we're going to get through it. I don't think Arteta could do much more wrong tactically in the next leg, but I think that the team doesn't have the mental solidity to get through this. I just don't see it. We're horrible at home and we're better away. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I think it was, even though the route to the final looked easy, it's not when you have a team that's really inconsistent. And we showed that yesterday. And that was the first time that I felt like I was like, I mean, I've cried over the team before in the past, but I was so angry I cried yesterday because I was just like, I could slap someone. Like, how dare you, after what happened with the ESL and after how you played against Everton, come out here out of Roma, Manchester United, us, and Villarreal. We need this more than anybody. Financially, historically, we need this. And you played worse than all three teams. Worse, by far. So I'm devastated. I'm horrified. I'm embarrassed by what I saw. And I think I'm mostly disappointed in Arteta because I just cannot believe he came out with some tinkered lineup. And he had 3 like 22-year-old, 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and Nicola Pepe out there. There's no focal point, buddy. Like, what are you thinking? So yeah, we were horrendous. And even if we get to the final, what is that? Manchester United is on a roll. I think Ole is very determined to get over this semifinal juju. And I think they'll win a trophy. I don't even think we could go to the final and beat them. I'm so done. I can't wait for the season to be over. Yeah. So that's how I feel.
Can I ask, Jess, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Obviously Pep was playing as a false 9 and then it switched to like Emil Smith Rowe. And I'm like, hold on, Pep's playing as a false 9? Like, that didn't help your situation. I'm a bit confused about that because I felt like I didn't really understand when he made the switch to Smith. I didn't really understand who was playing where, and like it was all a bit wavy, flavy, kind of like hippy dippy. Like, I didn't really understand like where we was going.
Just clever by half, trying to. I think when you put Pepe up there, you're going to assume that he's the one playing through the middle, and then he thought it will be smart to just throw Emil Smith Rowe up there. But when you have no focal point and the center backs don't have anybody to mark and they know that there's no late midfield runs coming in, then their fullback and their center back, they could double team Saka and Pepe. They had nothing to do. They had nobody to mark. So it just made it so easy. And then you also didn't have fullbacks to create overloads. It was just, he couldn't have gotten it more wrong. And I back Arteta. I like Arteta, but in the situation that we're in, with the lack of funds and an imbalanced squad and him being so new, it was a bad appointment from the club. And it's really, really showing itself now. And we're even further away than we were last season and the season prior. So I just don't know where we go from here. He's not winning the Europa League. I know that sounds negative, but he's not. He'll make more mistakes. So, and this team just confidence on the floor, so I don't know where we go from here in the summer. I think Arteta will still be here, but where does that really leave us? 10th place, no trophy, no Europe. All of our best players are under the age of 23. We bought Thomas Partey and he looks like a completely different player than what we purchased.
Yeah.
That's all to be taken into consideration. And I have a hard time believing that Thomas Partey became crap overnight. So if he can't make good players at least stay at their level, he's making them worse. Why would we give him more funds?
Yeah, especially
to bring in more players.
You're probably not going to strengthen to the level that you need to get you, at least top 6 in the summer. Like, that's really unlikely to happen. So,
right.
I think it's a mixture of, like, as you say, the mentality of Arsenal right now. I just don't, how you can go into a semi-final where this cup is literally like the pinnacle of your season, because as you say, probably no European football next season for you guys. This right now is like your saving grace. The FA Cup, which is usually your cup, that's not in play this year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of it is on Arteta. I completely agree with you, because he came out with, in my opinion, setting up the way that he did. It just didn't look like he went in to win that game, which is strange, because surely
you need it more than anybody.
Yeah, you need it more than anybody in that competition right now. So yeah, I thought it was a very strange thing from Arteta, but it isn't the end of the world. It's 2-1. It's not by any means over, but he has got to come out with a fighting mentality in the next leg. He's got to come out to win that game. Otherwise, I really do think you're a very reasonable, level-headed Arsenal fan. I think a lot of other Arsenal fans are going to be on his case, in my opinion. I don't think he's
the worst part about it is the club is not on his case. That's the bad part. Is there's nothing wrong with fans wanting Arteta out. We're fans. We're supposed to be reactionary, and we don't need to make the right decision. But the club, he's not under any pressure.
No.
And that's scary to me, because any manager that has you in 10th place, regardless of the soft factors around it, you know, the type of team that you have, the pandemic, COVID, whatever, no manager that's the manager of Arsenal Football Club should be okay or be allowed to be in 10th place and outside of European competition. It's unacceptable, but he's under no pressure. And that just shows why we were trying to buy our way into a competition that we would never qualify for in the current circumstances. And it's embarrassing. From the ESL all the way down to yesterday was absolutely embarrassing. So I'm personally just feeling like I don't even know what to do anymore, you know, because this is not the club that I started to watch. You know, it's just what's happening. You know, I don't get it, you know, so I don't know, y'all.
There's a super chat here from David. Thank you for your super chats as well before David T. This is suggested by a drink. Talking about Arsenal, you might need it. I feel monitor out every time United play. Honestly, I'm on that level because I literally have heart attacks every time Newcastle United play.
We play you guys at the weekend. I feel like we might get battered by you guys, to be honest.
I was just about to say
Newcastle on some form as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. This is the worst time to play you guys. Really.
I got really excited when they won, and I was like, when they win, I'm like, Kendall, they win.
Joe Willock,
like when they win,
for us in top 4 race, isn't he?
Joe Willock, thank you, hon.
The only thing is you can't use Joe Willock against us, so that's like the only thing. But
yeah, that worries me, obviously, coming into it, because he has been our saviour. So if you guys go into this, I know obviously you will be leggy because you have just played yesterday. It is going to be kind of right now the form that we're on as well in the league. It's up to us to get a result. In my opinion, we need it as well, because you know we're still not mathematically safe from relegation right now. I feel like probably, you know, technically safe, but we're not mathematically safe. So I'm not on, you know, a level of let's just chill. It's all right. We're fine. We really need to go out and get a result. We haven't got Willock. Luckily, St. Maximin and Wilson are both fit, and Wilson's probably likely to start on Sunday.
Can you start Joe Linton? That would make me feel better.
I think he will start. I'm not going to lie, because obviously with Willock not in the squad, Joe Linton's probably likely to start. So to be fair, I will just, you know, back up Joe Linton a little bit. He has actually been one of the better players for probably our last 3 games. So, you know, I'm not too fussed about it. Everyone's saying St. Maximin Masterclass. Please don't say this, guys, because now you're jinxing everything.
Don't be jinxing it. Come on, we've got to be big. We've got to be bigging up Kendall. But then I would like a draw. So then like both of you are happy because you both get a point.
Yeah, that's fair, girl. If I want us to win.
It's the only way I can pick up both of you. It's the only way I can pick up both of you.
I'll bring that super chat up in a minute. But the thing is as well, realistically, historically, Newcastle against Arsenal, we have won twice in 11 years. It's really a tough tie for us.
Don't forget though, Everton beat Newcastle at Anfield this year. Anything's possible.
Well, you know, that is very true. It's just Arsenal's the team for me that we really, really struggle against. I don't know why, but we just do. We have done all of the time. This season, as everyone's saying, this is the season maybe we get rid of that 3 times in 11 years. I just really don't know. Obviously we're at home as well, which has just been a bit of a nightmare for us this season. So I really don't know. Weirdly enough, the last away game that obviously I was allowed to was at the Emirates last year when Ozil scored, and it was 4-0. I
was there.
Yeah. Where? Yeah. Oh my god, that's so weird. Yeah, that was the last away game I went to. So before obviously the pandemic hit. So I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm absolutely
I think we'll play a really rotated lineup, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised to see some like a Balogun or an Aziz play. If Arteta plays the real players, I will turn it off. I will. It better be rotated. I better see people I've never seen before. I've never seen them before. Come on now.
This is obviously I'm just gonna bring the super chat up. Arteta is to blame. How do we let Willock go and keep Ceballos? He is to blame for everything. Every player who let us down, our players.
Gigi, come on, be real for 5 seconds. Nobody thought Willock was good before he left to go to Newcastle. Like, come on, like that. You're using it as a stick to beat Arteta with. That's not the stick. It's not. Yeah. He was not. He doesn't fit in our squad. Just because a player goes on loan and does well doesn't mean that Arteta made a mistake. And maybe Willock should come back. I wouldn't be surprised if he did because we need homegrown quota. Yeah. So Newcastle fans, I wouldn't get too excited about Willock just yet. But let's not revise history. Willock was not a fan favorite before he went to Newcastle. So yeah.
Yeah. And you just cannot foresee things like that. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible to foresee things like that. Look at Lingard.
Man United, yeah. Revival.
Started 2 League Cup games, like that was it. They were like, "See you later, don't care if you never come back." And now he's single-handedly saving West Ham and making them like a top 6 club. It's absolutely bizarre. You just cannot foresee it. I do get it because obviously you maybe you are struggling. Ceballos is struggling, but you just don't know. You cannot foresee things like that.
Ceballos was good at the end of last season, like you said, you can't foresee that kind of thing. But the whole Willock is a stretch, considering how bad the fan base battered him before he left. So
yeah, even me, knowing what Arsenal fans said, I mean, I'm not going to lie, Kesh and Igal both are like, oh, he'll get at least 5 goals for you. At least 5 goals in the time that he's there. I mean, he's on 4 now. So we're nearly at the 5.
Right.
So apart from that, even I was underwhelmed. I was like, oh, Willock, like really? In fact, I actually mourned because I wanted Maitland-Niles. That's who I wanted because he was more versatile at the time. And I mean,
no, girl, you got the gem out of the 2.
Yeah, he hasn't set West Ham. Like, I'm happy with Willock. If he stays, I'm honestly over the moon. Whether or not he will, but I just don't know. Gigi's back. Willock is still our highest goal scoring midfielder. I don't trust a man who got Ceballos, Willian, and Mari with any money. He also let Guendouzi go.
Guendouzi's not pulling up trees. Nobody's looking to buy him. His value has diminished. The guy is, come on. Let's just. Arteta has been an issue, but it's not about Marie Ceballos. Like, it's really not about that. It's Arteta's a novice, and these players have a poor mentality. Yeah. Guendouzi is
a lot of things.
He's dead.
Yeah. So that's the worst part because you cannot pinpoint the problem. It's Arteta, it's tactics, it's mentality,
all of it.
It's everything, and that's the worst kind of storm because you just. A lot of things need changing. Quickly, we're going to go on predictions. I'm obviously going to back my team to win. Whether or not we will, I'm probably going to look stupid because we won't. But, pretty much everyone's fit apart from Willock. So I am going to go. You guys haven't really got a goal scorer, if that makes sense, at the moment on form. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 1-0 Newcastle. I know that sounds quite safe, but just the way the teams play and the way we are, I'm going to say 1-0 Newcastle. What about you, Jess?
1-1, probably.
I can't see us winning because, as I say, historically we never do. But
these are sad days. This is
the best.
Can't even predict a win. Wow. Let's move on to Chelsea.
I mean, hold on. Whoa. Let me just make my prediction on the game. I'm gonna say, Jess. I really want to apologize here. This is nothing personal. I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle.
Well, I'll have that. I'll take it. Beth, what about you?
I'm sorry, Jess.
I can. Do you know what I can actually see? I can see Arsenal scoring first and then Newcastle scoring like afterwards to like near the end. So I think it's going to be a 1-1.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know what? I'll literally take any of that. If we draw, I'll be still happy because honestly, like 4 games ago when this run of 7 games was coming up, I was like, we're getting 1 point, and it was from Burnley. That's literally what I expected. We've now got 8 in that time, so a draw for me will be great. Thank you, Paul, for this comment. By the way, because there has been some weirdos in the comments and strange, but it's nice to see 4 attractive young ladies who love football and so knowledgeable about a beautiful game. Thank you, Paul, for that because it is nice. Time where we're trying to stop online abuse. It is very nice. Girls, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, Chelsea girl, you play Fulham. Leicester have they just with Leicester just playing Southampton just now?
They've literally just
2-1.
finished. It's 1-1. So thank you, Southampton.
Yeah, I was going to say that's good for you guys, because obviously it's looking like you probably will beat Fulham. I don't know though, Fulham have been a bit of a in and out team this season. If you guys win, obviously that is really, really helpful, especially in the top four.
We go 2 points away from Leicester. And we play them as well. And we're going to be playing them as well.
Called bottler, isn't he? So you could get third still at this point. I feel like Fulham may be kind of too far gone if you guys beat them as well, because they're only on 27 points, and I think Brighton are possibly on 36 maybe. I don't know that I don't know about that, but yeah, I think they might be too far gone now. But what are your predictions for that game? You Chelsea girls, Beth, come at you first.
Yeah, I think we should win that game, but I don't think it's going to be anything exciting. 2-0, I think, to Chelsea. I do think we're going to have one of those performances where we like slug a bit and we look a bit rubbish, but I think we'll win that one anyway.
Yeah, Charles, your predictions?
2-1. I think when you have a team, they are only 7 points off relegation. So for me, they only have to lose 2 matches and they're in trouble. So I'm gonna say 2-1, because you never know with teams that are fighting for survival what they're gonna come up for. I mean, I'm expecting Arsenal to come out because they're fighting for survival right now. Sorry, Jess. Sorry.
Love Jess, hate Arsenal.
Yeah, I love Jess. I just hate Arsenal.
Why? Why do you hate us? I don't even hate Chelsea.
I hate Arsenal that much anymore because they just don't do anything that annoy me.
Like,
it's just funny.
I don't understand this, because I only hate Manchester United and Spurs. I actually don't think about you guys like at all.
I don't hate
Oh,
you.
irrelevant.
It's just like seeing you suffer is absolutely fun. But I like Arsenal to win a game and then have a run of failings, and then win a game and have a run of failings, because then you see AFTV and like the terrace going off, and like these Arsenal fans get so angry, like celebrating.
Okay, maybe I kind of get it. I don't, but I guess I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I mean,
apart from you,
it's
Jess,
not you, Jess.
Arsenal
It's
fans
not
are
you.
really easy to wind up.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoy winding up Arsenal fans because they bite so quickly.
Yeah, they bite pretty quickly.
I
don't know.
Thank you, Gigi, for all of your super chats, by the way. But if we lose to Newcastle on my days, this man might have to sleep at Kendall's house. I know he's coming back to London. Listen, Joe Willock can come to my house anytime, not gonna lie. If he wants to stay in Newcastle, I'll be happy about that. That sounded really weird, but I meant if he wanted to stay in Newcastle, he can, come and stay.
Don't invite random people to your house, Kendall.
This Kendall. This is just.
I'm not
This is dangerous.
No one is allowed in Kendall's house. Like, come on. This is a PG show, like PG, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, I did mean it PG, but it did come out slightly weird. So
this is why I'm just reiterating it's PG. Like, we don't want anyone getting the wrong idea, you know.
Hey, my prediction for the Fulham game, or Fulham versus Chelsea game.
Yeah, Jess, come on.
I'll in on you. You're gonna have to let Fulham win.
Oh, 1-0 Chelsea. They can't score. You guys don't score a lot, but you don't concede. So 1-0 sounds about right. You know?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
That sounds fair, and it's still a win, and it's a lose for Fulham, which helps kind of me out as well. So yeah, I'm here for that. Anyways, finally, we're just gonna obviously the big game of the weekend is Man United v Liverpool. I'm gonna go quick predictions, and I'll let go because the show. I actually expected the show not to run on because I did have a whole other section that we're going to do, but we'll do that next time because we've run on a little bit.
Does Man City win the title if Manchester United lose to Liverpool? I think that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Man United are going to have to post it. Well, I mean, they don't really have to pull anything out of the bag because I think the league is Man City's anyway. It's not like they're going to make a late resurgence to get the title. I don't think that's happening. So I guess it is like a top 2, 3, 4 race at this point, because the league's kind of done. So the way Liverpool are playing at the moment as well, it's going to be judgment. I honestly think the big games that have been hyped this season have been so boring. I think it's going to be 0-0 in my opinion. Obviously, you know, Man United have had a game in the Europa League, so yeah, I'm going. I don't know. Yeah, let's go 1-1 because they have both got goal scorers in the team. So let's go 1-1. What about you, Jess? I'll go with you first.
Wow. I'm not going to predict a Manchester United win. I just can't do it. So even though Liverpool are poor, let's go with 2-1 Liverpool.
Ooh.
Okay. That's not good for obviously you two. So Charles, what's your predictions for the big game?
I need a 1-1 draw, play basically. That's what I need. For my sake, for everyone's sake, for catching up with every team up above. I just need a 1-1. I'll take a 0-0 draw. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna take a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. Don't want anything else.
Okay.
Is this at Anfield or Old Trafford?
Old Trafford, I think.
No, it's Anfield.
Is it?
Liverpool better away
I
from home.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, is it? No, it's at home.
Is it Old Trafford? Yeah.
All right, 0-0. Yeah, 0-0. Definitely.
Yeah,
That's like Ole's signature.
Yeah, it's at home. It's at home. So basically, Liverpool could actually take it. To be honest, if it's at home, I thought it was away, but no, I'm telling you, if it's at Old Trafford, they are rubbish. They're not as clinical at home as they are away. So I'm gonna say, I'm actually gonna change it. I'm gonna agree with Jess and say 2-1 to Liverpool.
But yeah,
Manchester United's also going to be high off of that six whatever thrashing. They may not be up for it like they should be. And Liverpool just needs to string something together to feel good about themselves. Yeah.
Thank you, Gigi, for your super chat again. We might have to kidnap Willock and leave that donkey Ceballos to play Bruce Ball. Oh God, can you imagine? Arteta's bad enough with Ceballos. I cannot imagine Bruce with him as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Arteta, the class to slap Arteta in the face with, which could be true. Martinelli's had decent games against us before. I mean, in January, you guys beat us 2-0 and 3-0 alone, so I'm really not looking forward to it. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Obviously, you will see over the next coming days, over here on the terrace, we are doing the social media blackout in response to online saying no to online abuse. I'm doing it personally on my personal socials as well. I know, Charles, you are as well. So if
I am too.
Yeah, Jess as well. If you want to get involved with that, please do, because I know everybody will think it's possibly a pointless exercise, but really and truly, if you don't, try and do something, then nothing will ever change. So,
and if we start quitting like Twitter and Instagram, the only time they're going to do anything is if it affects their pockets. Now, if all these people stop going on Twitter, all these people stop going on Instagram, they're losing money. They're going to have to do something then. They're going to have to. So I know speaking out is the best way to do it, but the only way you're going to get through to these people who have so much money that they don't know what to do with themselves is if it affects them, because they're in their own little bubble. So the only time, and this is really sad to say, I hate saying this, but it annoys me that it's true, is that the only time we're going to do it is if it affects their pockets. If they lose money, they will genuinely have to do something about it.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, even on this stream alone, there's been several, really abusive comments. Obviously, that I'm never going to bring up on this show because I normally don't. I normally just let trolls, keep to themselves. But in this current time, this current situation where we are trying to make a stand against online abuse, it is really, really important. Even if no one's judging you if you don't take part in it. That's obviously your prerogative, if I could even speak. But yeah, I think it's really important that we do obviously try and stand up, and I'll always try and be the person to do so. Thank you, Cam, as well for that. But ladies,
kindness costs nothing.
Exactly.
Kindness does cost nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Jess, can you let everybody know where to find you, please, and what you've got in the pipeline?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at @itsjessinho, and you can type in the YouTube search bar, just put She Knows Arsenal, and I will pop up. That's my Arsenal show. And then I'm here on the terrace every once in a while, talking about anything other than Arsenal if I can. And that's it for now. That's where you'll find me. So somewhere on YouTube.
Perfect. Shah, where can everyone find you, please?
You can find me on Strong TV, my YouTube channel. I've got the Wine and Football Show tomorrow with Jess and Beth, both going to be on here. So yeah, make sure you check that out, and then you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Charl_strong. I'm on here every Friday. Hold on, now I've got to remember what. First XI offside rule on Thursday at 10. Here, Friday at 9. GNA Women's Show Friday at 8. Bits and Bob's Corn on the Cobham. Bits and Bob's a show on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's got a full-on schedule. And Beth, where can everyone find you, please?
I'm on Twitter at KingKaiFC, and I'm on here at 9 on Fridays and at 8 on GNA TV with Charlotte on Fridays. I said that one already. And tomorrow I'm doing the Wine and Football Show. Yeah.
Perfect. And if you want to find me, obviously it's Kendall Rowan on all my socials, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Obviously here every Friday 9 p.m, Midnight Vibes, Wednesdays and Sundays obviously at midnight, and there and in between. But I hope you all have a great weekend, guys. Obviously I will not be seeing any of you on socials because I'll be back on Tuesday, as will obviously the rest of the girls too, especially here on the Football Terrace as well. There'll be no social content posted. YouTube videos will still be going ahead and streams, but there will be no content posted on social media. But have a great weekend, guys.